Well, the Lakers got their draft pick and spent it on Adu Thero, the 36th overall draft pick of which they traded up to get, but they're definitely not done adding talent to their team. Neither through trades, neither through free agency, maybe done with the draft up until this point, but definitely not done adding talent to their team. And well, according to new reports, they actually might not be as interested as we maybe thought about two trade targets that we've often heard a lot about, those two being Nic Claxton and Andrew Wiggins. Like I said, we've heard a whole lot about them, trade reports linking them, and even about the potential price for them. I mean, for Andrew Wiggins, for example, this coming from Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald, saying that the Miami Heat would simply want expiring contracts for him. But then a follow-up report from Anthony Irwin of Clutch Points, so take that with a grain of salt, said that the Miami Heat would want both Rui Hachimura and Dalton Knecht through a trade for Andrew Wiggins. And well, that kind of leaves it up in the air here. Do they want simply expiring contracts, or do they want a trade package of both Dalton Knecht and Rui Hachimura? Well, according to a new report, maybe neither of them, and not only the Heat, but simply the Lakers and their interests about him. So we'll talk about that, along with an update about Nic Claxton and the Lakers' interest in him as well. But before we get too far into it, I know a lot of you are new around here from the NBA draft and finding my channel for the first time, so I genuinely would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. And big shout out to you guys that already do have my channel notifications turned on and hit that like button on every video. I genuinely do appreciate you guys. But without further ado, now getting back to our topic, and starting out with Andrew Wiggins. Like I said, there have definitely been conflicting reports about him. Are the Lakers interested? Are they in trade talks for him, or are they not anywhere near that point? Well, according to a new report from Jake Fisher, they might not even have interest in him. According to Jake Fisher, he said, quote unquote, "I don't think there's anything developing between Wiggins to LA. Not about trade talks, they don't have a trade package presented for him, and definitely are not developed in any certain way toward a trade for Andrew Wiggins." And well, once again, that's definitely a conflicting report here. Are they interested? Are they not interested? Would they give up Rui Hachimura for him? Would they give up Dalton Knecht for him? Or would they simply offer a package of expiring contracts that don't include either of Knecht or Rui Hachimura? Again, that's definitely up for debate here, depending on what trade report you believe, depending on how badly you think they should or would have interest in Andrew Wiggins. That's really up in the air here. And if you ask me, I think they should have interest in him, but definitely not for the price of Dalton Knecht and or Rui Hachimura, for example. The last trade video I made about Wiggins, I presented an offer of simply expiring contracts with a first round draft pick, offering them a combination of Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent, and Shake Milton to make the money work, then with their 2031 first round draft pick, giving them enough trade assets left for a Nic Claxton or Daniel Gafford on the odd chance that he would be available, being able to do both that and a trade for Andrew Wiggins. Now, I'm not sure it would be enough here, but if the report from the Miami Herald that I referenced before does happen to be true, simply the Heat wanting expiring contracts for him, freeing up their payroll for the 2026 NBA offseason, where they might be able to get a bigger fish in the free agent market, that might be an objective for them and might be a possibility through the trade market. So if that does happen to be true, which I am leaning toward more that report compared to the report from Clutch Points here, I think this might be a possibility for them if they do in fact go that route and if they do want Wiggins on their team. Again, definitely wouldn't offer Dalton Knecht for him. I don't think that would be a worthwhile trade for them to make. I would offer Rui Hachimura for the right price, wouldn't give up that 2031 first round draft pick for him. Hachimura is an expiring contract, so kind of give or take here. Do you want Hachimura and then have to pay him thereafter? Or then trade him for a better fit, in my opinion? A guy that would fit the timeline of both Luka Doncic and LeBron in a way, and a guy that would simply make their starting lineup fit better and potentially make the fit between LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves work a whole lot better, in my opinion. That's kind of the debate here and kind of the question here with him. Is it worth it? What would it take to get him? And are the Lakers even interested in him? That's what it comes down to here with Andrew Wiggins. So let me know what you guys think about it. What report do you believe at this point? Do you think they should or will have interest in him? And what would it take to get him or should take to get him in your opinion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But then moving on to Nic Claxton. Yet another player we've heard a lot about, and another player that's been linked endlessly to the purple and gold up until this point, both from reports and then simply about fan speculation too. But according to a new report from Dan Wokey of The Athletic, there is quote-unquote no real chatter about Claxton to the Lakers as of right now. And then a follow-up report about that from Dan Wokey, saying that the asking price for Nic Claxton was one first-round draft pick roughly a few months ago, likely talking about the trade deadline at this point, talking about back in February where he was on a contract of roughly $28 million that season, now dropping down to roughly $25 million this season, then 23 during the 2026-27 NBA season, then to $21 million during the 2027-28 NBA offseason. And I mention that because the price likely does correlate with it. Every year that contract and salary goes down, the price for him likely goes up. I mean, after all, he's only 26 at this point, only just turned 26, and by the end of that contract, not only will he still be in the prime of his NBA career, likely anyways, only being roughly 29 years old, but then by that point, the salary cap will be a whole lot higher, roughly $50 million higher if projections remain correct, and if the NBA keeps increasing their payroll at that rate too. So with that in mind here, this might be an opportunity to get him for a good price and maybe even for less than that first round draft pick. I mean, after all, teams always go higher rather than lower in trade talk. They ask for more than they probably will get and try to drive the trade price up rather than settle for less, and why would they anyways too? If they're trying to get one first round draft pick for Nic Claxton, that means they'd likely settle for maybe a combination of 3 to 4 second round draft picks, 1 to 2 first round draft pick swaps, and maybe a decent young player with it, and the Lakers definitely do have that to offer too. Now there's an argument about if he'd be their answer at center. Another report said that they don't think he is according to that report, and he might not be their first option or first priority through a trade, which I would agree with, but I do think he's a solid fit nonetheless. I mean, if you can't get Walker Kessler, if you can't get Daniel Gafford, and neither of them appear to be readily available and definitely not for a good price, then I have absolutely no problem with going after Nic Claxton. A guy that can offer what they can, albeit to a slightly lesser degree in a few areas, is a lob threat like both of them, is a rim protector like both of them, even a more switchable defender than both of them. Yes, he is currently under a worse contract than them, but who knows about the contract that Walker Kessler might get? Is under a 1-year expiring contract, so definitely expect him to be paid roughly $20 to $30 million per season, especially if Miles Turner, for example, resets the trade market for centers, or rather the free agent market I mean, then he definitely might be overpaid here too. And overall here with Nic Claxton, me personally, I'm not any more or less interested in him from this report. I don't think that's a terrible asking price for him. Like I said, any asking price is usually higher than it truly is and what the team would actually take for said player, and I'm not exactly turned off by the Lakers having no reported interest in him. I mean, anytime we hear a trade that they actually make, we usually never hear about it before that point, and they tend to keep things pretty quiet. So if there's actually no reported interest between them and Nic Claxton, that actually might be a good thing, not a bad thing. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe he could be a fallback option for them. Again, I wouldn't put him as their number one priority on the trade market at center, but a guy they definitely have looked into and is likely still on their radar going forward too, in my opinion. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the updated reports about the value for both Andrew Wiggins and Nic Claxton through a trade? Do you believe it? Do you like the price for them, or rather the reported price for them? And what do you think about making a trade for them, or definitely not think about making a trade for them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.